Wait a minute, y'all. First, let me tell you something. I don't know if you can see my beautiful producer in the middle, Angel Yvette. She is awesome and beautiful and wonderful and powerful.
Really
and she
pretty.
has a lot of really great things going on in her life, too. Angel, what's your Instagram? At Limitless Light. And the E is a 3. So check her out. Now go ahead, Fatima, ask the question.
I like that. So limit L3SS.
Yes.
All right. See, listen, because some people are audible, so we got to make sure those people understand what's going on.
Well, she's fabulous, though, so she'll put it on the screen.
Oh, I love it.
Look at me signing.
I love it. Hi, Tangie.
Hi, Fatima.
I like your new background. It looks really, really nice.
Thank you. Welcome to my home.
Thank you. Welcomed into your home. It's good.
Thank you. I love your background too. I have told all of my people about you. Do you want to know what I said?
What'd you say?
I said, I met this sister years ago, and we met at an audition for Robert Townsend.
Yes, we did.
And I said, we looked at each other and we were like, oh my God, you look like me. You look like me. And the friendship connected, and we have been friends ever since. And I didn't even tell them how many times we would get together before kids and just do nothing. Just exist in each other's space.
Just being in each other's presence.
Yes.
Doing nothing. It's just divine, beautiful nothingness. Like
divine, beautiful, nothingless.
Yeah.
Nothingless. Yes. And I told them how you have done so many things and been fabulous at all of them. And I didn't name everything. I only named the acting. I named the singing. I happened to mention the Grammy. I didn't mention 90210. I thought about it, but I said, no, I won't put too much on it. I kind of mentioned the healing. I didn't mention any of your world famous clients. What I focused on with you is how you are fearless in listening to that still voice inside. So if you're doing one thing and God says, Fatima, it's time to do another. And it doesn't matter how successful you are at the previous occupation. You will let it all go and say, I've decided to da-da-da-da-da. So I couldn't even tell them what it is that we're going to talk about today. I've included being a mother. I mean, you have fearlessly walked on water, and I have watched the ground come up to catch you. And it's been wonderful to watch. I've been on the journey. I've cheered you on through everything. So what are we doing now? What do you want to talk about?
Wait. You can't do all that and then not, like, I need to breathe and take that in. Thank you. Tangie, first of all, I need to absorb all of that because it's so beautiful when someone sees you in a way that perhaps you don't see yourself. And I thank you for that because the way you reframed all of that was so beautiful, and it met me right where I am, right at my doorstep right now. If I can just be totally vulnerable, totally naked, totally transparent with you, it met me right where I am because I do sometimes feel like I'm just like boink, 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 boink. But you're right. I listen to spirit. Like when I'm given directions, I listen, and sometimes it doesn't make any sense to me. Most times it doesn't make any sense to those who are observing.
Right.
But when it all pops off and it's like, oh, we did this, then they're like, oh, you so thank you. I really appreciate that. And then correction, it wasn't a Grammy. It was 3 Stellar Awards. Nominations. So anyway.
1 Grammy, 3 Stellar Award
We
nominations.
still equal one grade. I like it. I like it. I like it. I love
Same
it.
thing, same thing, same thing.
So yeah,
So
I don't know what we're talking about today, but I'm so grateful to be on this call, on
me too.
this
So
conversation.
Fatima, what are you doing right now? What is it that I can cheer you on with?
So I am celebrating being a wellness thriver, and who are I am encouraging other people who are feeling aligned with the whole idea of turning turning seeming devastation around diagnosis into a divine invitation, and understanding like
Yes.
what are you being invited into, and what is it that your state of wellness, your state of consciousness. And when I say wellness, I don't mean just like physical wellness. I mean like your spiritual wellness, your spiritual
Mm-hmm.
well-being, your mental well-being, your emotional
Mm-hmm.
well-being. What is it that your current state is inviting you into expressing more of?
Mm.
So whether that is a low vibrational state where you're experiencing signs and symptoms of something not quite being aligned in such a way where you're living your best life,
Mm-hmm.
what is that invitation? And how can we silence ourselves through mindfulness and um, through introspection to really be able to hear that, and then not just hear it, but to take inspired divine action quickly,
Action.
not like
Yes.
mulling over it and just being like, oh, okay, whatever, whatever. So basically, as you know, Tangie, I closed my colon hydrotherapy business because I always felt this nudge towards being more of a coach to people, being more of an
Yes.
educator to people, being more of a trainer, helping people to train to develop this spiritual muscle fitness around their wellness and around being able to say yes to that which calls you higher, and being able to step into this bigger picture of yourself and not allowing your circumstances to just be like a thing where it's causing you to not move forward. So
Yeah.
right now, I'm super excited because I just recently, maybe a little less than a year ago, obtained my dual life and health certifications as a dual life
Wow.
and health coach.
Congratulations.
And I'm so excited because I help people, who are going through a life shift or a life changing diagnosis, to to up level their lifestyle, to up level their wellness, to up level their self care, in order to make room for being able to identify exactly what is the opportunity here.
To
Maybe
up
this is,
level, you help them to up level their self-care, taking care of themselves.
yeah,
You help them to up level. What else did you say?
to up level their self care, their wellness, and their spiritual fortitude. Really, like to just stop being scared and to
So
stop living within this label of like, oh, they said I got XYZF, but
so
instead of me,
therefore that means I cannot blah blah
I
blah blah
cannot
blah.
blah 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 blah.
Even though
Right.
you're
So instead
being
of
led to do blah 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 blah.
dig it, so instead of
Mhm.
leaning into that false identity of who you are, like understanding like you're perfect, whole, and complete, and you really are lacking no good thing if you will but
Wait a
see
minute,
it.
wait a minute, wait a minute. Say that again.
I like how you're like you're perfect, whole, and complete, and you're lacking no good thing if only you will choose to see it, because we can only what's on our radar is only what's in our view, right? So if your view is based on like limitation and I can't because I got, and I'm taking this and I'm doing that because I got or I can't, then you're not going to see the possibilities. And this is where like getting getting still and being quiet and really
Mhm.
really listening to like that little small quiet voice that really is your voice. Some people call it God. Some people, I think it's all one. That voice is your voice. That God voice is your voice. Your voice is God's voice. If we will, but like really lean into the awareness that like we're all a part of this grander expression that created us, and we have
Mm-hmm.
that same power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know this firsthand. You know this firsthand. I've watched you create a buttload of miracles.
I'm a walking miracle.
I mean, it's just like, but I've learned, I'm not gonna lie, I've learned a lot from you in this regard, because you remember when we first, you know,
Yes.
when you were like, I think you were probably the first person to introduce me into this way of living and thinking around like mm, being your own metaphysician, and
Yes.
um, leaning into like these new thought teachings around your own Christ consciousness. I
I
remember
think
when you first came at me with that, I was like, but what about the devil? But what about? It's just been, I mean, we've been friends almost 30 years. And just watching you and your testimony of like how you create, you create tons of food out of 5 loaves of bread.
girl.
Like you manifest. I love that. I love that. And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm getting chills just talking about it. And so
Thank you.
I just want to thank you,
Mm.
for
Well, I think that God just used me to get you to where you're supposed to be. That's all.
I agree with that.
I was just the soul sister that you would like kind of like listen to. You like,
Right, because if you ain't look like me, I probably wouldn't listen to you.
right.
Oh,
Right.
that,
Right. And I
yeah,
thank you for regurgitating all of that because right now I am in this, I always say, Bishop Noel Jones says, what? God creates situations for revelation. And
right.
right now, I am in this wonderful situation where God He has open areas. I have opened up spaces for Him to fill up with His goodness. There are
Mm-hmm.
a lot of places in my life right now where God can bless me.
So
And
for the people in the back that don't understand what she really saying, I'm gonna just say it like this. I think I'm gonna interpret. Some people would see that as um, I'm going through, and I don't know what's gonna happen. And please, can you just? But what you're really doing is instead of going into that space of like doubt and
I
fear
don't know
and
what to do.
scarcity, right? You're like, I'm making room. I'm making room. I'm creating space. And I just say thank you in advance. And not even really
I
thank you
don't
in
care
advance.
what the rest of the world decides to do. Yes. Yes. I'm making space. And so right now there's a lot of applying, a lot of application, a lot of me just walking around and just thanking God, thanking God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A lot of me sitting quiet and
Mm-hmm.
visualizing what it is that I see me doing,
Yeah.
you know. And girl, my life had gotten so worked up for a second, I couldn't even see it. And when I realized I couldn't see what I wanted to do, I said, oh, hold up, hold up. Hold up, Tangie. You need to stop because you need to see it in order for it to manifest. And then I said, no, I don't. All I need to do is trust God. God got me. He know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm having conversations with myself. But the main thing that I've been doing is keeping my peace, keeping my joy, celebrating everything there is to celebrate.
Right.
Everything, giving
Right.
thanks for everything.
Yep.
But when I tell you I'm walking on water, I'm just like
Yep.
those people. I don't know what the Lord gonna do. I'm walking on water, but
Yeah.
I'm excited. And then I even started thinking, Lord, do I like miracles so much that my life has to consist of miracles? Because I like ease too. I like
Yeah.
ease.
Yeah. Yeah. This some you just said about there's something you just said that actually made me think about like stress, like when we're being stressed, like the body, whether that be the body of your affairs,
Ooh,
the body
ooh.
of your affairs, or the body of your physical body. The body cannot heal in a stressed state. And that's why when we start to get in these spaces of like being being fearful, I'm talking to me, Fatima, being
And me.
fearful, being unsure, being uncertain, doubting, that he did it once, he'll do it again, or she did it once, she'll do it, whoever, right?
They
That you're
did it. Whoever. Yes.
right. When we start to get in those spaces where we start to be um, really doubtful, that's being in a stressed state. And no healing can happen in a stressed state. It
Mm-mm.
has to happen in a state of openness and in a state of like, like your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system, right? So any person that's a wellness person probably understands what I'm saying. Your sympathetic nervous system is that part of your body that's responsible for fight or flight. When you're scared or when something happens or a big noise happens, your body does this, right? And that's a tool. That's a really good tool to have, right? Because it keeps you from danger.
Yes.
But we're walking around constantly feeling like we are in danger. So we're constantly in fight or flight. Whereas when you're in parasympathetic nervous system function, you're in a state of birthing, you're in a state of receiving,
Mm.
you're in a state of allowing. And so, even like whether it be wellness or whether it be the wellness and well being of your life and your affairs, like release and let go. I release and I let go. That song, like just
Yes.
let go.
In my
Because,
spirit.
because the thing is, even if
Mhm.
what I'm learning is like, even if we hold on too tightly, it's not going to change what's happening right now. It's
Mm-mm.
just going to prolong what's happening right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. I don't want to be. I don't want to be. Mm-mm.
I'm done too. I'm ready. I'm ready to move to the next. I'm moving. I have actively started moving to the next phase.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, and
I
I
feel
am open to so many things. That's kind of what I feel. We're on strike. The actors are on strike.
it. Right.
And one of the things that I was thinking this could be about is there's so many of us, y'all don't get upset. I am striking too, and I want us to win. This is just another viewpoint. There's so many of us that have other skills that aren't being utilized,
That are dormant. That we're
that
not
are
using.
dormant because we've been acting. And this is giving us all a chance to live and to delve into the other gifts and talents that we have while we picket,
Yeah.
while we strike. So I'm excited about that. It's just a lot for me, but I'm excited.
It's like one of the teachers that I'm working with right now. He describes it as the great pause. So when the pandemic started to happen, right? Everything just
Yes,
stopped. Everything
yes,
just stopped as we knew it, right? But
yes.
there was a great pause. That was a great
Oh, it's wonderful.
pause that we were in, that we're still somewhat in, that's forcing us to really lean into like, what can I birth? What can I bring forth?
Can I
If
birth?
I
Yes,
can't do
wanting to give birth.
right, if circumstances are making it so this thing over here is not moving in the with the current that I'm used to it moving, what can I do with the waters over here? How can
Yes,
I move with this?
yes,
And if I don't know
yes,
what this is, how can I get still and just listen for inspiration?
yes.
I just
I
be.
hope they're listening now because I'm inspired just listening to you. I'm over here
I
like
love it.
feeling like a
I love it.
testimony. I
I love
feel it.
it.
Just listening. Yes,
That
go
makes
ahead.
me
I'm sorry.
happy. That makes me happy. And I don't want to come off as like,
I don't want to know
okay,
what you don't
all
want to
right,
come
that's
off as.
right. See,
I
thank
just
you.
want to know how do you
Thank
want
you.
to come off?
This is
How
thank
do you
you.
want to come off?
See, we are practicing the presence. It's a practice.
Yeah,
This is
it's
a practice. Even when you start coming off funky, you gotta come back.
a
So thank you for taking me
practice.
back. You just did
Yes,
this. Get back here. So I appreciate that. I
right.
appreciate that
You're
so
my
much.
sister.
You my
Oh,
sister.
I love you,
You my sister.
Fatima.
I don't know. I don't. Do people here know that I was there when your baby was born, when Stone was born?
They do now. They
I
do
saw that
now.
baby come out, and I remember Tangie. I remember the exact moment when her head came out of your body. She came out and she did this. She was
Oh,
so beautiful. The daylight had just come, and the sun was kind of like orange, and her little face with all that hair.
oh.
I'll never forget that moment. That moment was so powerful to me, and it constantly serves as a reminder. Her birth and Tennessee's birth, my daughter,
Tennessee is,
Tennessee,
for the callers that don't know, Tennessee is her baby girl. Go ahead.
that those two births really speak power into me when I am in periods of doubt. The fact that
Mm.
birth can come, that birth can come the way that it did, and that she came out just so perfect, right at the crack of a brand new day.
Right at the crack of a brand,
It was
a
just so
rocket.
powerful. And when I
Oh,
saw, and the same thing with Tennessee, like I'm an adoptive mom, right? So what your viewers may not know is that Ted and I became parents through adoption at the ripe, seasoned age of 45. And I remember
my
when
favorite adoption ever, by the way, the way that Ted, her husband, the way that Ted and Fatima handled everything. My favorite
it was
adoption ever. Go ahead.
crazy. And I'm like, whenever I start thinking doubtful thoughts, I'm like, no, because God made the desires of your heart come forth as flesh in the form of Tennessee. And
Yes.
that's why we named her Tennessee, which is a native we didn't name her after Tennessee. I ain't never even been to Tennessee. No shade to anybody that's in Tennessee right now. But the word Tennessee means the gathering place. And for us, adoption was the
Oh,
unlikely gathering place in which we would create family between these two family, between her birth mom and birth family and us, and that we will
and
all
they
come together
have.
and create family. And we have created
Not
family.
only
We
did
are
they
doing the
create
work.
family, but they've continued, they've maintained
We
this
continue to nurture that
family.
relationship. We
Beautiful.
continue to nurture that relationship. And we didn't know how we were going to do it. We didn't know how the adoption stuff was going to happen. It was like, 13 months had gone by when we were working with an agency, and nothing, we were like, let's work with the agency because it's a little less expensive and blah, blah, blah. And nothing happened. And then Tennessee's fairy godmother, I call her fairy godmother. She was this woman that we were introduced to through one of Ted's uh, psychotherapy building mates. We didn't even know her, but we had to do these adoption workshops, and one of the adoption workshops that we had to do was a transracial adoption workshop, to which I was like, we don't need to do that. He white, I'm black, we transracial, we got this. We don't need to do all that. What we need to train for it. But we went, and the person that was giving the workshop was a fellow therapist in the building that he worked in at the time, in the office next door to him. And she was like,
Wow.
what are you guys doing here? And she's like, so we start sharing the story, and she's like, I'm adopted, and I'm an adoptive mom. Where are you guys in the process? So we started telling her, well, we've been waiting for 13 months and we haven't gotten a call, and she said, you need to meet a friend of mine. And she introduced us to this woman, and this woman really laid out everything about what will make our process a lot easier. We did what she told us to do. We hired an adoption attorney. We didn't think we could afford it, but God worked it out.
Hmm.
And through, like, literally within a month of that process of hiring the adoption attorney, we met my daughter's bio mom. I call her first mom. I honor her as first mom because that's where Tennessee lived for 9 months. We met her first mom And within a month of that, she called and said, I really want you guys to be
Mm.
to be
Now I
parents.
got chills.
And I'm like, but how we gonna pay for this adoption? Now we got a mama and we don't know how we gonna do it. And we just continue to just move forward, move forward, move forward in faith. And it just happened.
That's it. Moving forward in
And
faith.
not only did
Mm.
it happened in such a beautiful, graceful way where we both knew, and when I say we, I mean my husband and myself and her mom, her first mom, we knew that we wanted, I wanted to be in a relationship with a biological mother who was open to being open, which is not how most people like it to be. They don't, they want it to be like a close, I don't
Yeah.
want to do
We
anything.
don't
And
want to,
I'm like,
yes.
no, it's really important to us that we know you and that we know your story so that we can share that story with Tennessee so that she always knows that her story is a love story, not
Yep.
some story of
Yep.
abandonment and tragedy. And it's just,
Yep.
and she was like, I want that too.
Yep.
And towards the end, when she gave birth, she was scared. She thought that we were going to change. She thought we were going to ghost on her. She thought we were going to be like, thanks for this baby. Bye. And I just
And
told her,
rightfully so, because people are like that. Yeah. I
people
think
don't
I
like
would
that.
have been a
People
little bit
do that.
scared too.
People do
Yeah.
that. But
Especially after, you know.
I said to her, I said, we don't, we, we don't have any desire to do anything than what is in the best interest of everybody involved. It's healing for your heart to have to make a decision to place your child in the care of a family that you think is okay, but you're not really sure,
Yes.
and trust that they're gonna be good parents to that person
Yes.
after you've carried this child for 9 months. That in and of itself is a trauma. So we were like,
Yes.
we're not interested in creating any more trauma or drama. We're
Yeah.
interested in healing this whole thing. We're interested in healing, our situation because we were not able to have biological children. So it just
Uh,
turned into this big, lovely gathering place of love. So we named Tennessee Love, which about a week later, I realized, oh my God, that's Stone's middle name, Love.
oh
And
my gosh.
Stone was like the birth that I experienced that made me
Oh
want to be a mom.
my goodness. That's so
Isn't that
funny.
crazy?
Yes. Well, they're both love.
They're both loved.
They're
And
both
now,
love.
and here your baby is. Going into her junior year.
She's a sophomore. She's in the
I
10th grade.
mean, good night.
Counseling at the camps. She's so smart
It's
and
beautiful. And she's
wonderful.
so beautiful and she's smart, she's pretty, and she's quirky and funny. It's just, yeah. So
It's my
thank you, Stone.
baby.
Thank you,
Your
Stone.
baby
I saw
too.
her face. I saw her face first. And so thank you. She made me want to be a mom.
Wow.
Yep. Because I
Wow.
wasn't thinking about it before. I was like, oh, we kind of forgot to get are we trying to go have these on? Oh, we forgot. Huh. Okay.
Wow.
And then that baby came.
Wow.
Stone Love. Tennessee Love. It's beautiful.
And I think you got a better view of her birth than I did,
Well,
because I didn't get to
for
see
obvious
her come
reasons, yeah.
out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just remember how it felt. And you're in
But,
my book, by the way.
huh?
I did mention you in my book.
Really? Oh, my
Yeah,
little girl prophet. My little
yeah.
girl prophet.
Little girl prophet.
And
Little
just think,
girl prophet.
you thought you needed to poop when you was in high labor. That was so funny. I'm like, no, I think we need to call my wife. We need to call her right now. You like, no.
Wasn't I knitting and stuff?
You were
Something
knitting,
you were
and every
like,
time something would happen, you'd be like, "Ooh, I think I gotta go." Hold on, and you went to the bathroom like 50, 11,000 times, and I'm like, I don't know. Based on what she taught me, I think you're ready to push. And you're like, no, because this feels different than the last time. And I'm like, I think you're ready to push.
you kept saying that. That's what I remember. You kept saying, I'm ready to push. And you kept saying, Tangie, I think you're in labor.
And you were like, no, it was
It
labor.
doesn't feel like labor. Yeah.
That
And
was
you
so
were
funny.
right.
That was so funny.
So Fatima,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you just made me think about something else too. So Rock, Rock got a chance. I've been going through all of my stuff, and I have videos. Rock got a chance to see his birth.
Girl, what was that like?
He
Please.
saw him. I videotaped him. He was like, he said it seems like it took longer than I thought. And I said, well, yeah, we watched the whole thing, but he said Stones was so fast. I said, no, baby, it wasn't fast. But all he remembers was his grandmother took him out. He came back in, and then she popped out. So
Wow.
he doesn't remember the water and, her not wanting to come down and,
Uh-huh.
them having to
Oh,
hold
you
her
mean with
cervix
you?
up.
Yeah, yeah. Wait a minute. Does he remember Stone being born?
Yes, because you remember after
I
she
remember.
came out, he came in, he
And he said,
remembers that.
"Sister." He looked
He
at her, and his eyes. It was like his soul. He was like, "Sister."
Because I had been telling him that there was a baby in mommy's belly. There's a baby in mommy's belly. There's a baby in mommy's belly. And so when he came in and he saw her, he was like, Mommy, baby.
Yeah.
And then he came on over and
He
yeah,
was so sweet when you would. I love that you allowed him to be in the birth, at the birth, because I remember how sweet he was and how nurturing he was. And then he'd go off and play a little bit, and then he'd come back in the room and touch your face and touch your head and watch, and then go play some more, and then come back in the room. And then the baby came, and he was like, "Baby, sister." That was so beautiful. That's such a gift. That's such a beautiful, beautiful gift. And in light of what's happening right now with Black women in birth, in the
yes,
birthing experience, that is my wish for every mama who is blessed to be able to give birth, that they will have a beautiful, sacred birthing experience. Because that's
yeah.
what you had. It was so yummy. It was lovely. And then, the baby came, and then your mama went in the kitchen and started frying up some chicken. And Leroy was like, boom, we DJing. It was like music. It was a birthday party.
It was a birthday party.
Party. Yep.
It was. I would love to have another baby if I wanted to have another baby because I love being pregnant and I loved
I know you
having.
did.
I'm really thankful for my experiences, all three of them. But I did want to have a baby with the dolphins. That was a dream.
Oh, really?
I'm glad I didn't because after Pebbles, my stillborn, I think, or well, maybe with Rock, when I was pushing him out, I was pushing him through my cervix, not out my cervix.
Oh, okay.
And so I think my cervix stretched. So they had to hold my cervix open in order for him to come out. And I believe with Stone, they had to hold it open. And, she had the cord wrapped around her head. And
I remember
they had
that.
to do all of that. So I probably couldn't do it with the dolphins because they need to see. My babies like to get all tangled up. But I would have loved to have experienced that. I rented the tub for Stone.
I remember that. And then you got in the tub, and every time you get in the tub, Stone would get relaxed and be like, "Ooh, this nice." But
Yeah,
she wouldn't budge.
he wasn't coming out. So, so
Wow.
Fatima,
Yes, ma'am.
tell me, how can my people get in contact with you? How can they get your services?
So, okay. So, you can find me on Instagram at Wellness Thriver Coach. And if
Wellness, WellnessThriverCoach.
Coach, yes, Wellness Thriver
Okay.
Coach on Instagram. And you can also, if you want to peek into my personal story of why wellness thriving is such a passion of mine, you can peek over at my personal wellness Instagram, which is Kidney Wellness Thriver.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I'm sharing my story
Kidney.
and my journey of healing and reversing chronic kidney disease and
You
what
have
that means.
reversed.
reversed
A
it. Yes.
lot.
And I remember the doctor was like, it just gets worse. You're going to, yeah, dialysis. And I was just like, but what does God say?
Tell them what stage the doctor said you were at.
Stage 3. There's only 5 stages
Stage
of
3.
chronic kidney disease.
And
And
you said, but what does God
what
say?
does God say? What
And
does
what
God
did God say?
healed?
Healed.
But it was like healed with some caveats in there. Like it can't just be healed. Like there was a lot of emotional work that I needed to do, a lot of forgiveness work that I needed to do, and a lot of letting go of fear. I didn't realize that a large part of my life has been spent, even though I am a habitual high achiever. Prior to now, that high achievement was largely stemmed in fear of failure. Whereas
Mm.
now, whatever is coming forth just really as an act of love and as an act of thank you for allowing me to be able to express in this iteration. And so I had to heal those emotions associated with fear, um, sadness, resentment, and then rage because I was really in a lot of rage right at the top of the pandemic because of what we were seeing in our
Mm-hmm.
country.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what we were experiencing. And I remember when I got the call and the doctor said, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I just saw you 18 months ago. And I've always labs, perfect bill of health. I don't know what's going on. What, your labs are showing that, you have stage 3 chronic kidney disease. And I heard a laughter in my soul. It was like,
Wow.
now we get to heal. That's what I heard.
Mm.
And I was like,
Wow.
okay, now I'm being invited into an opportunity to heal my emotions and to see
Wow.
and uncover and look for the golden nuggets of wisdom that diagnosis is here to teach me about how to live my life well. Not
Wow.
physically well, but yes, physically well, but well. How to do well, how to live good, how to feel good, how to live, at the risk of sounding cliche, how to live your best life, even in
Mm-hmm.
the midst of a diagnosis. Like
Mm-hmm.
even if the diagnosis had not reversed itself, how do we still get to thrive
Mm.
midst of,
That's good.
in the midst of
That's
whatever is
good.
happening and whatever's written and said about you on paper? How do you still get to
Yep.
choose to
Yep.
thrive? I got
Yep.
chills again, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Kidney
Yep.
Wellness Thriver or Wellness Thriver Coach on Instagram.
Well, I sure do
Oh,
appreciate.
oh, oh, wait. And my website, FatimaWilliams.com.
So let's say those all three one more time.
Fatima Williams, www.fatimawilliams.com. Kidney Wellness Thriver to follow my personal Wellness Thriver's journey, and Wellness Thriver Coach to learn more about the tools that I offer as a coach and how I can help make anybody's process just a little bit lighter, a little bit better,
I
and
just
allowing
read.
you to choose to thrive instead of being a warrior. That's the thing. A lot of
Mm.
people, they stuff start happening and stuff get written on paper, and they be like, "I'm a warrior. I'm a sea warrior. I'm a this warrior. I'm not warring. I don't have an adversarial relationship with this diagnosis. This diagnosis came to teach me how to live really well and how to be kinder and better to myself and to other people. And so we don't need to be adversarial. We don't need to do all that. Just
Oh,
allow.
I love it. I thought of all kind of people. No, well, actually, I thought of one person, and I thought that's why he came. He came to bless my life even now. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my God, that's
Yes,
funny. That's funny.
yes,
See, listen, this could be applied to any area of your life. Like,
yes,
wh- where
yes.
where can we find the nuggets of wisdom? It didn't come to take you out
No,
completely, It might
No.
have came to sit you down for a minute so you
Right.
can sit and be still. But
Right.
when you choose to get up, what are you getting up from? And what are you getting up and moving into?
Yes. 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 Yes, that's my life too. Focusing on what I want, moving where I want to go, seeing what I want to see, and enjoying where I am right here
Yeah,
in this
I
moment.
am.
There's
Be here
always
now.
something in this moment.
Well,
Yes.
it's your fault. All of this, you are to blame. Remember, I used to call you little girl prophet,
Yes.
even though you're
I
my big
still
sister.
tell people.
Even though you're my big sister, and older than me, but
Yes.
you've always been like little girl prophet to me, like very very intuitive, very very in touch. And I remember you used to sit down and you so sweet. I know you was frustrated, but you'd be like, Fatima, you need. What do you want? I know what you don't want, but you keep saying, but I don't want to, and I don't want. What do you want? Let's focus on more of what you want so that you can get more of what you want. That took me about 10 years for that one to settle in. But I
Mm,
get it now because where your gaze is where you're moving towards.
yes.
What
So
do you want?
can we take one moment together, maybe 30 seconds?
Yes,
30
ma'am.
seconds of silence so that we and the listeners can focus on
What do
what
you
we
want?
want. You ready?
Yes,
Go.
yes.
Yes!
I just got excited about what I got.
I got excited
I just
about
got
what I
excited.
got too. I hope y'all got excited about what you got. Oh my goodness.
And the fact that you can see it, it means it's already here. It's just,
Yes.
we just have to collapse time. We just have
Yes.
to collapse time. So the fact that you can
Yes.
see it, it's already here, and we just need to be in the moment and be in the movement of it, making its way tangibly to us.
Mm.
That was good. That was good.
Be in the
My
moment
cheeks
and be
hurt.
in the movement. Oh,
Be in the
thank
moment.
you, Fatima.
Be
Thank
here now.
you.
Be here now, child of God.
Be here
Wrote a
now.
song about that one. Wrote a song about that. Child
Yes.
of God. Be here now. Right now, right here is where you start. So
Do you want to?
engage the moment and look up from where you are. Beyond your circumstances lies much more. You're a child of God. Speak life into your situation, cause you're a child of God. Never mind about tomorrow's pain. Forget about the tears of yesterday. Yeah. Right now, right here is where you start. Engage this moment. Look up from where you are. Yeah. Child of God, you are that. I am that. They are that. We are that. Angel
Oh,
is that. I mean, Angel got the name Angel. So, I mean, come on. Come on.
come on.
So blessed. Gosh, blame yourself, little
Thank
girl
you,
prophet.
Fatima.
I am the
Thank you,
fruit.
Lord, for
I am the
using.
fruit of your love, wisdom, and everything that you, and just your patience and your unconditional. Just thank you. Thank you for being that friend.
Oh,
Thank you for being that friend, that sister to
okay.
me.
So I'm gonna take a moment and I'm gonna
And
allow that
receive
to
that.
sink in.
Can you receive that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Take
Because
that in.
I don't always receive.
Yeah. But you can now.
You're
That
welcome.
is who you are. That is who you are to me. That's who you've always been to me. And I know, life moves and does different things, but You my sister. You're my sister. I don't think it's a coincidence that we're both only children, wink wink, and that we found each other in our lives when we did, and that we've gone through all of these different places and transitioning and transforming our lives, and that we've both been observers of it, even at times from afar, but still
Even
being
in
observers. So
times
thank you. Thank
mm,
you. Your tree dropped a little piece of fruit, little apple. Whoop! Here it is, the red apple on top of my head, and I was like, "Oh, let me eat from this fruit that my sister Tangie is giving me." And you've just given me so much, so much. I don't have a lot of. There's not a word to really describe it, but thank you.
thank you,
I love you.
Fatima. I love you
And
too.
can we all be that to somebody?
Can we all be
Right?
that?
Because being it's no respecter of persons. Being God walking in and as and through Tangi is no respecter of God being God in and as and through Fatima, in and as and through Angel, in and as and through Joe, Big Mama, in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
We all get to embody that, but we have to see ourselves as that first.
Yeah.
So thank you for
Yeah.
letting me see it. And
You're
thank you for helping me
welcome.
focus on what I want.
You're
Because
welcome.
you was rubbing them knees, honey. You was rubbing them knees. Oh, gee, Fatima, I need you to focus on what you want. Instead of being like me, Jersey girl, what the you girl, you getting on my damn nerves with all that. You was sweet and kind, just rubbing your knees. I need you to focus. I need you to what do you want?
And you did, and you do, and you have,
And I
and it's
still
on.
and it's on. It's on and popping.
So, so we want all of you to focus on what you want to. Just take some time out during the day and really sit and think about what it is that you want in your
Mm-hmm.
life or for your life. And it's also good after you see it to write it down. There's something about connecting the thoughts in your brain to your hand that just seems to
Oh yeah.
bless you so much. You know,
And
it's
get
easy for us to
excited about it.
record. Yes, it's easy for us to record on our phone and all of that. But when I write it down, not even typing it, when I write it down, it's
Mm-hmm.
something about that that just gives me a heart
Yeah. You know how they
palpitation.
say like writing is cathartic? It really
Yes,
is. I
it
think it's
really
more
is.
cathartic to like to feel your body going through the motions of creating what you want in word and then going forth and creating it in deed, like in
Mm,
action.
yes,
So that when you in deed and then you start acting a damn fool and forgetting what you know, then you go
yes,
back to what you wrote down. You go back to your word and you read that and you're like,
yes,
ooh, this word, this
yes.
word that I wrote down is
That I
powerful.
wrote down.
This
That I
word
wrote.
that came and was downloaded through me that I
Do
wrote
you
down.
remember at Understanding Principles for Better Living? That was, for those of you who don't know, that was Reverend Della Reese Lett's church. It's still moving strong, but we used to have Christmas in July, and we would have to write out, not just, don't just write out anything, but you write out what you can believe God for. And I remember that year I wrote out I wanted to make $150,000 that year. And we were getting close to the time when that $150,000 was supposed to manifest. And I was like, I'm still believing, Lord. I'm still believing. And it might have been maybe, I don't know, maybe a week before my time was up. And I got a call from a casting director who said she had a dream that I was the person that they were looking for. She had been testing for this role. And ironically enough, the girl who had already tested was a Tangie also. And she called me in that morning. I read for the role. That afternoon, I read with producers. That evening, I test. And by that next week, I had made 150.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so
Yep.
dope. Oh
Yep.
my God. That
Yep.
is dope.
Yep.
Tangie, I never knew that.
Yeah, that was brutally normal.
Oh
That
my
was brutally
goodness.
normal. And I learned so much on that show because after I got it, I couldn't believe that I was working. This is the interesting thing. I couldn't believe I was working. I couldn't believe that I was actually making that much money.
Mm,
Um,
I know where this is going to
I
go.
didn't know what to do with myself because everybody wanted to see me. Casting, I couldn't go audition for anything because I had a job. It was nothing for me to do but just enjoy it. Do you think I just enjoyed it?
Mm,
I should have, but I was more like, well, what I do, what I do, what I do. And before I knew it, it was gone. I still made the money, but the show, because I shot the episodes and I had fun shooting, but I was, like, I could have
you
taken those.
couldn't believe. You
I
couldn't
couldn't
believe that
believe.
you,
I
yeah.
couldn't believe. So from that, every other time I've had a show, booked anything, whether it be one day or 5 years, I enjoy it to the max.
Yes,
I
yes.
enjoy it as much as I can now because I know how important that moment is. And if I can't believe, I try not to think about it
Yeah.
until I can believe. If you can't believe, don't think about it until you can. Because it's better to put nothing than doubt.
Oh, oh. I had an experience like that when I first came to LA. When I booked that pilot that was got picked up to be
90210?
a
No,
series. No,
singing.
Divas.
Yeah,
Divas.
divas.
It was the
With
perfect job.
divas with you, Tammy
Tammy
Townsend,
Townsend, Nicole, Ari Parker, and
Ari
Lisa Nicole
Parker.
Carson.
Yep.
And
All y'all.
I remember thinking, oh my God, this is what I always wanted. I'm acting, I'm singing, and
Yep.
I'm dancing.
Yep.
And when they gave
And
me that,
making money.
and making money, and when we were negotiating my contract, and I saw how much I was going to be making every single week, I felt so bad. I felt guilty. I didn't feel worthy. And then they were like, "Oh, we got picked up. We got picked up. We're going to be a series." And I was like, I feel bad. I didn't work hard enough for this. I'm too
See?
young for this to have happened so
Mhm.
soon. And then the people from when you get a job like that, the people start calling you so you can wear their
Yes.
stuff. Oh, we want you to
Yes.
come and visit our
Yes.
showroom. And I
Yes.
remember getting a call to go to these two different showrooms, and they were like, "Oh yeah, just." They gave me a big bag and was like, "Yeah, you can shop." And I'm like, "But how much is it? How much
Yes.
is it?" And they're like, "Oh, don't worry about that. Just you can, you know,
Yes.
you shop." And I remember I only got two things because I felt really bad because the people from home where I grew up in Newark, New Jersey would never be able to afford this kind of stuff. It brings me almost to tears. And I just couldn't receive it. I just felt I was happy for myself, but I felt bad and I couldn't believe that this had happened so soon in my life. And then, less than a week later, just like the series got picked up, the series got canceled. When they were like, "Oh, there was a something with the producer of the show and the network. They didn't agree on some small minor little thing." And so the network was like, "Great, we'll cancel your show." And they
Yeah.
canceled our show, and I was like, "Oh my
Just
goodness."
like that.
I I couldn't believe it. And so I didn't have that to believe anymore.
So what is our lesson in closing today?
Our lesson in closing is I can't believe it.
I
And when
can't
it does happen, give
do.
thanks, be present, be in the moment, enjoy every single juicy morsel of it,
Yes.
and just know that, oh, these things are more. shall I experience and do.
Amen.
That's
We
it.
love y'all. Thank you for tuning in.
That was good. Thank you, sis.
I love you, Fatima.
I love you too.